Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. All right. Before we get going, there's a few things that I think that we should go over. A few things that I think I need to tell you. Okay. The purpose of this session is for you to talk to me about any problems or concerns that you might have. Nothing is off the table, and this is a safe environment, so anything you say here will be kept confidential, and I'll get to that in a minute. Your goals, or the goals of this session, are whatever you want them to be. So if you want to talk about your family, your girlfriend, your job, whatever it is, it's completely up to you. Alright? Procedures. I'm going to begin by just letting you start to talk and interrupting you every once in a while with a question, clarification, something along those lines. At any point in time, if you want to change subjects, feel free to do so. That's completely up to you. There are no limitations, okay? I am not a specific counselor, okay? So if during the time that we have our counseling sessions, if I feel that I'm not being helpful to you, or I feel that you feel that you want to talk to somebody else, I can arrange that, alright? Drug and alcohol counselor, suicide counselor, whatever it might be. Right? I am involved in supervision, alright? So my supervisor will not be sitting in on the counseling sessions, but he might be referring to my notes, going over my tape recordings, anything along those lines. It's going to be kept locked in his desk drawer, which the door will be locked at every night, and he will have the only key to the door. Okay? I am qualified as a counselor. Okay? I have certifications. I am certified by the state of New Jersey and by the NCE, the National Counseling. I passed the NCE, so I am certified counselor. I don't want you to think I'm some quack off the street. And you can see my certifications behind me. Right? Continuation of services. You're scheduled for 10 sessions. Alright? If you want to continue your services after that, we can certainly do so. At any point in time, if you want to stop the sessions, we can certainly do so too. It's completely up to you. I am going to tape record our sessions if that's okay with you. I need a verbal response, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Informed consent and billing. We're going to bill through your insurance. Okay. My assistant can take care of that for you. And if you decide that you want to not go through the insurance, it is $100 an hour.
Okay.
Okay. And I expect payment before services begin.
All right.
Okay. You have the right to refuse service at any point in time for any reason at all. Okay. And there are going to be no. Let me talk about confidentiality for a second. As I said, everything you say here will be kept confidential. Okay. I am not going to talk about this to anybody. Okay. The only time I do have to break confidentiality is if I know that you're going to hurt somebody, you're going to hurt yourself, or or your life is in danger. At that point in time, confidentiality will be broken, and I will bring in the proper authorities.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully, we'll not get to that point, but if we do, I just want to let you know. All right. Do you have any questions for me before we begin?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Anthony, what brings you here?
I'm having a lot of family issues. I'm having issues with my dad mostly, and school issues. He doesn't want me to continue in school. He wants me to pursue fighting as a career, and I don't want to do that. Anymore. I still want to fight, but I don't want to pursue it as a career because my heart's not in it. It's for helping others.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a lot of injuries, head injuries. I'm currently getting over an injury to my my head for concussion, another concussion. I was in a car accident and hit by a drunk driver, and combined with all my other past concussions, I have swelling in my brain. So I'm on treatment for that. I was having trouble concentrating. I was having trouble staying awake. And I was having trouble just living normally. It was intruding in my everyday life.
All right. The concussions, were they major? Were they minor?
They were major.
They were major?
Yeah.
Were you hospitalized?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Were the concussions all caused from both the car accidents and the fighting?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Both.
All right. So let's talk about the fighting for a second. Was this something that you pursued on your own? Was it something that you always wanted to do?
No, I was forced into it when I was a little kid. And I was groomed to be an athlete and a fighter. I was groomed for that. And, you know, I didn't have a, you know, it wasn't like if you like something, do it. It was like you're doing it. So it's like it.
You said forced.
Yeah.
Like, I think of forced as somebody not giving you a choice. Am I correct in that assumption?
You're correct. Yeah, you're correct. I was forced into it. I was made to do it. I'm made to like it.
Who forced you, Anthony?
Dad.
Your dad. Okay. Was your dad a fighter?
Yes.
Okay. One question is, why did you not stand up to him?
I guess I was just afraid of, you know, letting him down. I don't like to let people down. It's one of my big issues. I'm afraid to do that because I had to earn everything I got in my life, so I had to earn love and respect, and I had to earn that. And, you know, if I wasn't getting it at home, then the only way I knew to get it was to be good at something that he wanted me to be good at.
I see. So if I'm hearing you correctly, to earn your father's love and respect, you had to fight.
Yes.
Did you have to win?
Yes. And not just win in dominating fashion.
Dominating fashion.
I was getting yelled at for not winning by enough, eventually. So winning wasn't good enough anymore.
Is there one specific incident of this that stands out in your mind?
Yes. I was a junior in high school, and I was wrestling, and it came down, it was a teams were involved, so team points, and to win for the team, I had to pin the person and get 6 points for the team to win, and I tech faulted him, which is when you're up 15-0, they just stop it. I couldn't pin him, I beat him by 15, so they stopped the match, and that's only 5 points. So I came off the mat, and my dad screamed at me for that. And it happened ever since.
How did that make you feel?
Pretty unworthy, just not good enough, and not, it was like a job to me then. It just wasn't fun anymore. All the fun was sucked out of it because it was like a full-time job in high school.
Did you try your best that match?
Yes.
Was the opponent better than you?
No. He just thought that I was better than ever, the best, so I should always win by the, you know, pinning as fast as I can. You know, because I was ranked first in the state, and I was ranked in the country, the top 5 in the country. And, you know, so I had to be good enough for those expectations.
How did that mentality going into from wrestling to fighting, is that still with you? That mentality of,
Yes.
I have to knock this person out.
Yes. Yeah, it's still with me. Gotta be the best, otherwise there's no point to do it.
How active was your father in the fighting? Did he coach you? Was he...
He was a coach slash... Yeah, coach, basically. Not a father. He was another coach.
Okay.
Just someone who's harder on you than coaches.
Wow. Was there anybody who supported you in a positive way?
Not really. No.
What about your teammates? What about your actual coach?
Well, yeah, that's true. My actual coach did, yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that love and respect from your coach, was your dad angry about that?
No, he really liked my coach. They would get into it because my dad thought I should be, my dad would never say, good match, you did good. My coach would say that sometimes. So he's like, don't tell me you did good when he didn't, even though I thought I did.
No, it's a contradictory in a triangle fashion. Your coach, your dad, and you. You're all thinking that you're all thinking different thoughts.
Yeah.
That's tough, Anthony.
Yeah, it is.
That really is very tough. You know, you had the concussions. You had this immense pressure put on you to earn love and respect. A family is not supposed to be, earning love and respect. It's supposed to be unconditional.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So, what was the most important thing that you learned from fighting?
Just having respect for your opponents, and that, you can always march through any pain to, get where you want to go. There's no amount of pain that should be able, stop you from doing what you want to do. You should be able to, for me, I thought I should be able to, to get through any obstacle and push through, no matter how hard it is. Good quote is, it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. If that makes sense.
It does. And it's also a very concerning quote.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a personal question, and you are under no obligation to answer it. Were you physically assaulted or hit as a child?
Yes.
Often?
Yeah, sparring a lot, yeah.
I'm not talking about sparring. I'm talking about your father just coming after you for no reason.
Yes.
Did you report it?
No.
Because
I thought it was normal. I thought I did something wrong, so I should be hit for it. Just how I was raised.
Okay. I don't think that is, I don't think that is, I don't know what to say at that point in time. You are, you're currently in school.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that for a second. The grad school, okay? What do you feel about it so far?
I feel good about school. I'm in addictions counseling. That's my specialty. and I got into it because of my past experiences with addiction, and I just want to help as many people as I can.
Your past experiences with addiction.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Sure, yeah. I was an opiate addict. I did other drugs too, but opiates were my drug of choice for years. I functioned highly when I was on it, so I was able to hide it for a long time. And it resonated after a surgery, knee surgery. And after I had that knee surgery, I realized that these pills take, they call them painkillers, but it wasn't painkillers for the physical pain anymore, it's for my emotional pain. And I felt great when I was on them. I felt great. I felt like invincible. I just felt like nothing anybody could say or do could hurt me anymore. And I never used them for physical pain ever, because physical pain does not bother me. It's the emotional pain that gets me.
How did... This was not recreational?
No. It got to a point where I was doing 30 pills a day. 900 milligrams daily. Went to treatment, a couple treatments before it stuck. I have 4 years clean and sober today. Yeah, thankfully. And
Congratulations.
thank you. I help other people. I have a sponsor, I have sponsees, and that's where my heart is. That's helping other people. Because without this field and what you guys do as counselors, I would not be here.
You said that it took several tries in the addiction counseling, the treatment. You fell off the bandwagon?
Yes, I just didn't know what I didn't know what I was in for. I didn't know how deep I was in it. It was very hard. It was very hard when, I had psychiatric issues, OCD, depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress from my childhood. And those things were tough to deal with without the use of self-medicating. I couldn't self-medicate anymore, I had to self-medicate. I was my own doctor, and because the pain that I was feeling was just too much to bear. It was just way too much. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So that was literally the only way I could deal with it.
It sounds like you've had a rough road.
Yes, yeah.
I guess a question that I have for you is, what was the turning point?
It's actually funny because one of the last treatment centers I was in was called Turning Point. So that's pretty funny. I just had enough. I literally just had enough. I had a counselor who never gave up on me. Everybody else had. I gave up on myself. He never gave up on me, and I just had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. It's either I was gonna die or I wanted to live. You have two choices, There's no way around it. You gotta just go through it. Otherwise, it's never gonna get better. So I had to make that choice, and I made that choice to live.
Did you ever come close to dying?
Yes, I overdosed a couple times. I've had guns pointed at me. I've guns put to my head. I've had knives pulled on me. Yeah, multiple times. I should be dead. It's a miracle that I'm even here in the session with you.
It sounds like it, but you know, you, looking back on your past and looking back at your future and looking forward to your future, do you feel that you made the right decision to get the help that you needed?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I definitely do. I had an intervention, and when I got in treatment, I was upset but happy at the same time because I really wanted to work on it. And it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I mean, it's harder than cutting weight. It's harder than sports. It's harder than It was the hardest thing. I mean, it was so hard, incredibly hard. But it takes courage. You gotta do it. Otherwise, otherwise you're gonna die that way.
Let me summarize for a second, because you hit on some very important points. You've had guns, knives pointed at you. You overdosed. You've been in treatment. You've had concussions. You've been hospitalized. You've had this. I don't even want to call it a love-hate relationship with your father. A very strained relationship with your father. And the turning point was you just woke up and realized that you don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Right.
And you just want to help people now. And I applaud you for that. I really do.
Thank you.
Admitting that you have a problem is the first step. Getting that help is so important. The intervention, who was there?
My family, mom, dad, brother, aunt, uncle, 3 best friends, grandma, great aunt.
Was there 100% go, Anthony, we support you?
There was support, and there was a part of that, but then there's a part of freaking out and, breaking things and, being verbally abusive and stuff like that from my dad. He didn't really understand. He didn't really, he didn't try to understand. He just flew off the handle. So it wasn't all support.
But if you had ended up with a gunshot wound, a stab wound, if you were laying in a hospital bed because of a violent act, because of your addiction, wouldn't that be a wake-up call for your father?
Yeah, probably. It took a couple times for him to even acknowledge that there was an issue. He just thought he didn't even think there was an issue going on. He's like, I don't understand why you just can't stop. He's like, you should be able to just stop.
I don't think...
Like, there's, what treatment? What's treatment? Counseling? What's counseling? Like, he still doesn't even agree with it, totally.
You mentioned that you have a brother, younger or older?
He's younger. He's 24.
Okay. Did your father raise you and him the same way?
No, he did not. My brother was the golden boy, I guess you can say. Never got in trouble, never was forced to do anything, never was forced to play anything. It was just different. He just raised us totally different. I guess because I was the firstborn and I was the most like him, I guess, and the most, he didn't really know how to handle being a dad for that time. So when my brother was born, I told him, if you ever hit my brother, there's going to be a big problem. And I said that, when I was maybe 6 years old, 7 years old. So, and I kept saying, I protected my brother, you know. When my parents fought, I would get him out of the house, you know. So he was sheltered and didn't have to deal with a lot.
How is your brother now?
He's a police officer. He never had any drug or alcohol problems. Doesn't have any mental issues. Nothing. No one in my family does. Just me.
Do you feel singled out?
Yes, I feel like the black sheep. I feel singled out. Yeah.
But you shouldn't. You know, you shouldn't. How many people in your family are going back to grad school to study and become a counselor?
None.
You're breaking new ground in this family, Anthony.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and the great thing about the past is it stays in the past. You are in. The future is wide open to you. You know, and you can help so many people, especially with your past experiences, with your past addictions, with everything that's happened to you. You know, I think that's going to be a great stepping stone for you. You know, we have about 2 minutes left. I want to ask, how did this session feel for you?
It was very good. I thought the session went really well. I was able to, you know, talk about things, give you a good idea of where I'm coming from, why I'm seeking treatment. And I thought, you know, the questions were good. And I felt like I was able to talk to you and, you know, tell you what's going on with me. So.
Did you feel safe?
Yes. Felt safe. Very good session.
Okay. In the next session, I want to ask you, what would you like to talk about?
Next session, it would be alright if we could talk about a girl that I was recently dating.
Okay.
That's going on. It's going on for me. You know, we just broke up, so it's kind of tough.
Okay. We can definitely talk about that. You know, I think that'd be good. You know, and I can't give you advice because we're just starting to build a relationship, a rapport with one another. But I do have to say that I think that you are an incredibly strong-willed person, and that you should not be afraid of what other people think.
Thank you.
You know, so keep that. You know, please keep that in mind. What about what? Do you have any feelings about passing a bar, passing a drug house that you know of?
That's a good question. You know, I can't. It'd be a lie if I said I never, you know, think about it. But it used to be, the pull used to be a lot strong. Like, I would have to call my sponsor immediately and tell him what was going on. Since it's been a while now, it's kind of, you know, the thoughts still come, but they're replaced by thoughts of where would I be if that happened? Do I want to go back to how I was? You know, do I want to put my life on the line? You know, because to me, it's not worth it anymore. You know, now that I have a choice over it, because I never used to have a choice. If you're an addict and once you're involved and deep into it, there's no choice. You're powerless.
And remember that's a really important word, choice. I want you to realize that you have a choice to come to this session or not come.
Right.
You have a choice to go into that bar and have a drink or not. You have a choice to stand up to your father and tell him what you want to feel or not.
Right.
You know? Okay, good session, Anthony. Thank you.